Hey, so this is a super chill scope. I'm in my work clothes. Uh, Super chill scope. So, hey, Mr. CEO Ernie Perry, how are you doing? Hey, replay viewer, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in ages. If you're watching the replay, you're watching this broadcast not live, I really appreciate you being here. Stay tuned. It's a chill scope. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for being here. Hey, Mr. Ernie Perry. Hey, Amanda. How are you? How are you doing? So yesterday we talked about do one thing that's scary, right? I feel good. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate you asking. Yesterday we talked about doing just one scary thing. One scary thing. Hello, Sanders. How are you doing? So my one scary thing, I did a couple scary things because I'm an overachiever. One of the scary things that I've done in the week was I take a dance class. Don't ask me what dance class it is because I'm not going to tell you. I take a dance class and there's a show at the end of the month, at the end of April, on the 29th. And the dance instructor was like, hey, do you guys want to sign up for the show? And I was like, I'm a beginner. It's the first sessions of class. I don't know if I really should. But then I thought, okay, why not? Let me just do it. So my scary thing was performing. I do not feel so confident performing. I do not feel like I am the best. I just know I am a beginner and I want to, hey, Terry, how are you? Welcome to the scope. Thank you for those blue hearts. I appreciate them. I just know that I'm like, okay, thank you so much for inviting your followers, CJ. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much. In fact, let me introduce myself really quickly. My name is Coach Nachi. I am your world-class personal development coach, speaker, and life enthusiast called to serve those who want to live more like their unique selves right now, this minute, right now. I believe we're intended to live joyfully, fully human, and feeling at home in ourselves and our lives. Thank you so much for inviting your followers, Mr. Ernie Perry. I appreciate that. Today, I'm talking about the scary thing that I did and what I noticed. When you do something scary, you will notice a ton of things. Hey, Sarkat, how are you? Hey, Terry, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. What up, Hoodma? So what I noticed when I signed up for the dance class was, number one, I needed to start getting ready. There was a scope that we did a while ago about it's not irresponsible or dangerous if you don't deliver, right? Like, you have to deliver. I can't sign up for my dance class and then just show up and just, yes, I did invite my friend to your group. You don't just sign up for something. I'm not going to sign up to my dance class and just go, right? Like, that's not a thing that I'm going to do. I'm not going to just go and not perform. I'm going to get ready. So I've been getting ready. So when you do something scary, when you apply that pressure low key, when you do something out of your comfort zone, guess what happens? The fight to start getting ready, the fight to prepare yourself, that's what takes place, and then you get prepared in the process of getting ready to do this thing that you want to do. Swipe and invite your followers. Share the broadcast with them. Yes. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Ernie Perry. This is the share button you can press, or you can press the 3 buttons at the bottom of your screen. And which profile picture? So what did you notice from the scary thing that you did yesterday? If you didn't do your scary thing yesterday, I don't know what happened, but you have today. Do your scary thing and notice what you notice, right? Notice what you notice about yourself and how you, notice what you notice, Terry. Notice what you notice about how your body reacts. Notice what you notice about how your system reacts. Because when you get to know you, and this is really essentially where I'm going, when you get to know you and know how you react in mini fears, right? Or how you react in fear, then you can suss out what it's going to be like when you do things that are bigger, do things that are greater, right? Me signing up for a dance class is not something that's going to ruin my life if I fail at it, quote unquote fail at it, or don't perform or whatever. And by perform, I mean don't do as well as I thought. It's just a thing. I talked to you yesterday about my skydive. I skydived out of a plane. Now that's a pretty big deal because, I could have died. That's what I tell myself. I could have died. So if I can jump out of a plane, can I dance though? Look, Mr. Ernie Perry, I will have to. Okay? I will have to bust my butt and choreograph a dance that I don't feel too badly about, okay? The pressure is on now. I'm using what I've learned in the dance class to implement and do something about it because I've put this pressure on myself for the dance class. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'll come crying on here, guys. I didn't do so well. It was horrible. No, I'm pretty happy about it. We got your back. I'm glad you guys are gonna support me. So what's your scary thing, and what are you noticing about yourself and how you react to fear? What I've noticed about how I react to fear, thank you so much for those hearts. What I noticed about how I react to fear is I try to make it go away. I try to make it go away, man, I swear, this is just my hair is doing some things that I don't want it to do. What I notice is I tend to want to make the fear go away. And I don't do it by hiding. I do it by trying to make it better. So I assess what it is exactly that I'm afraid about. So for me with the dance class, when I signed up for my dance class, and if you're just joining, welcome to the Scope. My name is Coach Nachi. We're talking about fear and what you notice in your fear once you've done something scary. That's the only way I know how to really suss out what you do in fear in the moment, right? Living and breathing. I want to fix it. I want to make it go away. And the way I make my fear go away is say, Nachi, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? I'm afraid of embarrassing myself. I'm afraid of falling flat on my face and not doing well in front of all of these people. So what do? I get better. I make myself practice. I make myself work at whatever it is that I'm going forward, and I perfect it to the best of my ability. So when I perform, I can say I gave my all. Job interviews can be scary sometimes. Job interviews can be very scary. And the way I would get rid of that fear is the same way as I've said. I would try to make myself better. And that's what I've done before. There have been conversations that I've had to have with people in my life, close people in my life. I have 5% battery. We're going to make it work. Hey, G, welcome to the Scope. I appreciate you being here. In having a conversation with someone who I was nervous to have a conversation with. Hey, what up, D. Smith? I called up a friend and was like, hey, can you practice this conversation with me? So we role played. So if it's something for interviews, for me, how I would handle that was shaken. If it's something if that's how you handle fear, Nachi, I was like, who's Anna, G? Thank you for being here. I appreciate those brown hearts. So anyway, that's how I deal with my fear, and that's going to be consistent throughout little fears or big fears. If it's skydiving, I don't know how you can prepare for that. How did I prepare for that? I just didn't think about it. I went with someone else. I had a support system there. I didn't go it alone. It was tandem skydiving. So I went with a group of people and who I didn't really know. Hey, Ricky Ricardo, how are you doing? Ricky! Love Ricky. That's what I did. So what you'll notice is if you put yourself in a slightly small sense of fear, and you take stock of what's happening for you in that moment, that's most likely what's going to be happening for you at the big parts of fear. Because fear doesn't really discriminate too much. Fear doesn't discriminate at all. If someone I know is about to be a mother, and she's afraid. For me in that situation, I know that I would read up the best as I could on how to be a good mother, how to be a mother, period. That's how I react on the big fears. And that's how I react on the small fears. So how do you react in your fear? Yesterday's challenge was to do something scary. Do something scary and notice what you notice about yourself. Because what happens at these little fears of, oh, I'm going to go talk to somebody that's scary for me to talk to. Oh, I'm going to do XYZ, whatever. You'll see that's the same reaction that you have at the big fears. And if you're not watching the screen, I'm doing quotation marks because your body, for the most part, fear doesn't discriminate if it's a big fear or a small fear. For the most part, you're reacting the same way, you're feeling the same things, and that's how you can name, oh, that's fear. So, do something scary, So that when the big thing comes, when your big moment comes and it's scary, you'll know how to deal with that fear because you've already sussed it out. You've already assessed what fear looks like to you. You hear what I'm saying? I see those hearts, and I hope that means, yes, I agree. Yes, I hear what you're saying. I appreciate those brown chocolate hearts and those teal blue hearts. I believe my phone is going to die in 3%. I appreciate those comments. Thank you, G. Thank you, Mr. CEO Ernie Perry. That's what that challenge is for, and that's what I noticed. I also noticed something about myself. Another thing that I did was I cut back. Baby, I do so much. I cut back and I was like, I need to focus on one thing, which is hard. My body goes into like a bit of a chill when I say that. Whew, still going through it. But my way of dealing with that kind of fear, which it's scary for me to just do one thing because I want to do many things and everything and I believe I can do it all. But I need to do that one thing. That's my scary thing that I really had to do yesterday. Make a decision. I was looking at my Make It Happen workbook and working through the master list, and I was like, I'm doing quite a lot and none of these things are where I need them to be right now, so I need to focus on one thing at a time, my chosen one, because as you know, the Make It Happen workbook takes you from your brain dump to your chosen one, and that's what I'm trying to do. Make sure I put everything on the paper so I can say, okay, this is the one thing I need to focus on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the Make It Happen workbook, and the page that I'm particularly talking about with everything, the brain dump, is my master list. Right? So, after that, then we go into the chosen one, which is going to be fun. Oh, right, there is that page. So eventually, from everything that I'm working on, I'm going to have to pick one thing to really focus on wholeheartedly. And I need to get a couple things out of the way in order for me to focus on that one thing. So that was my big fear, doing that one thing, choosing one thing. And that's scary for me. It's not scary for other people, but that's a scary thing for me. How do I deal with that? Getting prepared. I'm already researching how to maximize the time that I'm putting into this one thing because I want to get to the other things. Those are things I really care about. And so that's, in any case, 2 examples of how I challenged myself to do something scary and what I noticed. So do something scary. If you didn't do it yesterday, do it today. Do one thing that's scary. Just one thing that's scary. Just the one thing that's scary. And notice what you notice about yourself. Take notes if you have to. Just notice how your body reacts, your breath, how it changes, what goes on. Do you sweat a lot? What goes on in your head? Do you want to hide? Do you just bump yourself straight into action mode? What happens when you are in a fear state? Know what it's like for you to be in a fear state, because when you get to doing bigger things, again, quotation marks, bigger things, then you'll know how to handle fear and you'll know what systems to put in place, what support system you'll need to help you take care of the fear that you have that will be coming up. Okay? It's very meta. It's very meta, but it's a thing. Hey Ghost, how are you? So I appreciate you all being here. I will be here tomorrow between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I would implore you to get the Make It Happen workbook. It is at bit.ly/makeitbook, and write down your notes. Keep things on piece of paper. There's something about looking at physically what you have to do, even if it's ethereal or mental. Or there's something very special about looking at something. And that's the workbook takes you on that kind of step-by-step journey to get you from point A of, there's so much stuff, to making it happen. So I'm very excited to go along. Phone died.